Hi guys, welcome back to the Anime Multi-Universe. Bleach 1000 Year Blood War, the animation episode 13 review. This episode I enjoyed. Loved going back to, the Soul Society to see how, the guys are, rebuilding post the invasion of the Queens, right? So first of all, we pick up from, Ishin essentially finishing the story, he gave to Ichigo of how his mother died. And then we see Ichigo now determined, saying that he wants to go back to the Soul Society. He wants to get training so that he can actually go out and, go on the attack or be strong enough to defend those that he loves. Immediately as he tries to do that, his dad says, dude, how the hell are you going to go there? But fortunately, one of the subordinates of the Zanpakuto god, they come through and collect Ichigo, and he goes back to the, to the royal palace to complete his training on the Azaushi. Dude, as soon as Ichigo pulls up and he gets there, bro, the Zanpakuto god says to him that, dude, you are ready. Okay? You are ready. And we see, dude, a plethora of, Azauchi fall down on their knees, and Ichigo walks straight to his chosen, Azauchi to turn it into his personalized Zanpakuto. Quite a good scene to show that Ichigo has mastered this area of competency, right? The other thing that I like, dude, is that we switch to, Squad 10. We see Captain, Hitsugaya go and try to get some training on Zanjitsu, right? My boy has lost his his Bankai, right? And he needs to get stronger. And it also showed you how much, these captains rely on, essentially their powers, right? Instead of the actual sword play. But I mean, how much power can Zanjitsu get you unless you're like a Kenpachi, bro? But it was quite cool to see him actually humble himself to say that I need to get stronger, right? And then obviously we have another scene where we see that Miyori, he's locked himself into his office for 24 hours, dude. The boy is out there creating a monster, right? And I wonder if Miyori is actually managed to find some form of a solution, right? Where it nullifies the ability of the Quincy's to take away his powers, right? Because we know that Miyori, dude, is definitely smart, he's intelligent. There is no way that all of those dudes came by and they took their abilities and he didn't pick up anything. If he didn't, I would be so disappointed in Miyori, right? And then another scene that we get is Soifon, right? She's out there in the, the mountains or the desert mountains. She's training as well, physical training to get stronger. I can't quite remember if she's one of the captains whom they took her Bankai as well, right? And another one is we've got Captain Murugama trading his third seed in the Rukon District Forest to essentially master his Bankai, right? He's going to use his lieutenant to train, his third seed to master, his Bankai, right? And then Mugarama also speaks about how he's not Tozen, right? And if you think about Mugarama, dude, he's very militant. He's like a military guy, right? He's got discipline, he's hard, and I kind of like that. He inspires leadership if I look at this guy, right? So his third seed gets offended to say that you don't badmouth Tozen, right? I mean, why not? Yes, Tozen wanted peace, but dude ended up becoming crazy, man. I mean, partnering up with Aizen, doing experiments of people, even altering his own DNA to try and achieve peace by partnering with the strongest person. I think it wasn't a good idea. He was a traitor, right? But anyway, he'll get over it once he masters his Bankai, right? And the one thing that I loved, bro, I loved seeing Sajin, right? So Sajin goes back to his clan, right? He speaks to this elder, the elder dog, to essentially say that, dude, I need you to teach me the secrets of our clan so that I can get stronger, right? And the elder says to Sajin that, dude, number one, you were ashamed of who you are coming from this clan. You used to walk around the Soul Society with your head on because you were ashamed of us. Now you come back to us and you want to get stronger of the secrets of, our clan. Now, Sergeant, dude, why the hell did you even leave your clan without getting those, getting those secrets, right? Imagine the kind of power that Sergeant would have if he had those tricks and also went on to master his Bankai, right? But yeah, Sergeant, dude, freaking love this dude. His Bankai, dude, is so freaking awesome, dude. But yeah, and then obviously the elder, he says that, dude, we don't care about who controls the world. We will continue to live on as we have done, living in the shadows, right? It gets you to think about this, the scheme, the grand scheme of the Bleach world, right? Think about, where Kenpachi comes from, or the thousand of history that the Soul Reapers have went through, right? What happened? What kind of wars were fought? What kind of captains, they were there, they died, what kind of battles, bro? So I feel like in Bleach, there's so much we could actually explore, get into. I mean, think about Chad again or Orihime, those clans where these people actually emanate or originate from. We could actually delve into these things, bro, and get like a world as big as One Piece, right? But anyway, the elder says to Sajin that, don't mess with our peace, or we're gonna get into a fight. So Sajin says, bring it on, right? He's about to get into a fight with this big ass dog. But now Sajin, bro, I think this guy is actually just testing Sajin. He wants to see his resolve, right? Once he sees that Sajin is serious about what he wants, he might be willing to train him. I don't know how else he's going to convince this guy, right? And then the other reveal, the big reveal also in this episode is that the boy Ichigo, okay, he hasn't actually been using his full powers, right? Whenever he used these halification powers or his bankai, whatever the case may be, he's been using one over the other, okay? Even though there are instances where it looked like he's using a combination, we actually find that Ichigo has two versions of Getsuka, like, or not Getsuka, of Zangetsu, right? There's Zangetsu, who's actually Yabaya Hak, right? Who has been disguising himself as one form of, Getsuka, right? Which is his Quincy origins, right? It's been saving him. And that he has to come to terms to, essentially embrace both parts of him. The Soul Reaper as well as the Quincy part of him, to essentially have both of them or one. And where we see at the end, where, the Zanbakuto god forges now Ichigo's new sword. And we see that Ichigo, he has two Zanbakuto now. Once he pulls it out of the, the fire, dude, it even evaporates the ocean around the entire, Zanbakuto God's palace, right? To, sort of obviously communicate the power of Ichigo's new sword, right? But nonetheless, which is that Ichigo has now two versions. He has his Soul Reaper part and he has his Quincy part, and he must embrace both of them, and he will now be able to use his full power. It was a freaking awesome scene, bro. I don't know about the aesthetics, having him use two swords, and then at the end it sort of left me confused, because I don't know if it means that Ichigo is going to have two versions of, the sword is going to have two swords now when he fights in battle, or they're ultimately going to combine to give him one sword. But overall, dude, it was a great episode. I love seeing the Soul Society, dude. I actually prefer being in the Soul Society more than the world of the living or anywhere else, right? Such a rich world to be within, and so interesting, dude, But overall, this episode, guys, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, that's it for this episode, guys. If I missed anything, please leave a comment in the comment section. Obviously, like the video and subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I'll check you guys next time.